Hello guys, in today's video, we're going to delve deep into the case of the brutal murders of Delphis. From the disappearance of Libby and Abby, from the suspect on the bridge, to the arrest of this wicked, cruel and sadistic killer, to his imprisonment and final sentence. Watch from beginning to end, because every detail of this video is shocking. We're going to unravel every detail of this case that marked Delphis forever. Liberty Rose Lynn Libby German, born on December 27, 2002, in Lafayette, Indiana, was a bright and outgoing teenager known for her love of science and photography. She had a natural curiosity about the world and aspired to work in forensics one day. Abigail Joyce Abby Williams, born on June 23, 2003, in Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, was a creative and artistic young girl. Abby loved drawing, painting, and crafting, and she had a gentle personality that complemented Libby's outgoing nature. Both girls were best friends and inseparable, sharing a love for hiking and exploring the outdoors. They lived in Delphi, Indiana, a small town of just over 3,000 residents known for its peaceful community and picturesque landscapes, including the historic Monon High Bridge Trail. On February 13, 2017, Abby and Libby decided to spend their day off school hiking the Monon High Bridge Trail. They were dropped off at approximately 1:35 p.m. near the trailhead by Libby's older sister, Kelsey German. The last known contact with the girls was at 2:07 p.m. when Libby uploaded a Snapchat photo of Abby walking on the Monon High Bridge, an abandoned and scenic railroad bridge. Shortly afterward, the girls encountered an unknown man. Libby, showing remarkable presence of mind, captured a short video and audio clip on her phone, recording the man instructing them to go down the hill. Down the hill. Guys. Down the hill. When the girls failed to return to the pickup location, their families reported them missing. A search began immediately, but it wasn't until February 14th, at around noon, that their bodies were discovered about half a mile from the bridge in a secluded wooded area. While authorities withheld many specifics about the crime scene for years, later court documents revealed chilling details. The girls were killed using a sharp object. No evidence of sexual assault was found, but investigators noted unusual elements, such as the positioning of the bodies and the presence of sticks arranged around the victims. These details later became the focus of alternate theories presented by the defense. The case quickly garnered national attention. The released audio and video clip from Libby's phone, along with sketches of the suspect, became iconic. The phrase, "guys, down the hill," became synonymous with the case. Despite thousands of tips, no arrests were made for years. Investigators faced challenges due to the limited physical evidence and the rural location of the crime scene. They followed numerous leads, including those involving local residents, transient workers, and even possible ritualistic motives. The breakthrough came in October 2022, over 5 years after the murders. Richard Allen, a 50-year-old resident of Delphi who worked as a pharmacy technician, was arrested. Evidence against him included forensic ballistics. An unspent .40 caliber bullet found near the bodies was forensically linked to a firearm owned by Allen. The bullet had unique markings matching the gun. Confessions. While in custody, Allen confessed multiple times to the murders, though his mental state was questioned during these admissions. Presence at the crime scene. Allen admitted he was on the Monon High Bridge Trail on the day of the murders, a statement corroborated by witnesses. How were the Delphi victims murdered? For years, police refused to say how the girls died. However, a series of court documents released in June 2023 revealed new details about the murders for the first time. Libby and Abby are believed to have been killed with a knife, suffering injuries caused by a blunt object, the documents state. A gun is also believed to have been used in the crime, after an unfired bullet was found near the victims' bodies. Libby's iPhone, containing the infamous Bridge Guy video, was found under her body at the scene. Articles of clothing belonging to the girls were missing from the scene, including a pair of panties and a sock, the documents state. Court documents filed by Allen's attorneys in September revealed more graphic details, including that the two teenage best friends had their throats slit, as well as disturbing details of how their bodies were disposed of. The documents, in which Allen's legal team maintained his innocence and that the victims were murdered by a white nationalist cult, state that Libby was found at the base of a tree with tree branches of varying sizes intentionally placed in a very specific and organized pattern on her nude body, and blood stains all over her body. Meanwhile, Abby was fully clothed, including Libby's sweatshirt and jeans. The documents state there was no blood on her clothes, indicating she was likely murdered while naked and then dressed after she was killed. Tree branches and twigs were also placed on her body, the documents state. Both victims appear to have been moved and staged after they were killed. Who is Richard Allen? Before his sudden arrest in 2022, Allen's name had never been publicly linked to the case. At the time of the murders, he would have been 44. He has no prior criminal record, although prison records also list him as Cray Ross Renfro. The 52-year-old's home in Delphi, where he lived with his wife Kathy, with whom he has an adult daughter, is less than a 5-minute drive from where Libby and Abby's bodies were found. According to online records, Allen has lived there since at least 2006 and in Indiana his entire adult life. Allen is a trained pharmacy technician, having received his most recent pharmacy license in February 2018, a year after the murders. At the time of his arrest, he was working at the local CVS store. After his arrest, Libby's grandparents, Mike and Becky Patty, said they remembered Allen developing photos for them at the store after their granddaughter's murder. In a chilling photo posted by Allen's wife, Kathy, to Facebook in December 2021, Allen is seen smiling alongside his wife at a local bar in Delphi. On the wall behind him is a 2019 police sketch of the murder suspect. Allen bears some resemblance to the sketch. The selfie was posted to social media the same month that investigators issued a new appeal asking the public to come forward with information about an online catfishing account allegedly linked to the murders. Jury hears alleged confessions by Richard Allen. Indiana State Police Detective Brian Harshman testified during a 3-day hearing this year that Allen has confessed to the murders more than 60 times since his arrest, mostly in phone calls to his wife or mother while he was behind bars at the Westville Correctional Facility. Allen began confessing in late March 2023 when he had an apparent moment of reconciliation, said the officer, who had reviewed about 150 hours of phone calls. In the confessions, Harshman said Allen spoke, very specifically, about some details of the crime, including his alleged motivations. Indiana State Police Lieutenant Jerry Holman also gave a damning statement, telling the court that a fellow inmate had come forward to claim that Allen not only confessed, but also revealed the murder weapon. Allen allegedly claimed he killed Libby and Abby with a box cutter and disposed of the knife by throwing it in a trash can outside the CVS where he worked. Allen's defense has long argued that his confessions were the result of his poor mental health after being treated as a prisoner of war in state prison while awaiting trial. But Judge Gohl allowed the jury to hear all of Allen's confessions that police say he has made since his 2022 arrest. What the jury didn't hear at trial: the bizarre manner in which the girls' bodies were found has given rise to several theories, including one advanced by Allen's defense attorneys that the girls were ritually sacrificed by neo-Nazi followers of Odinism. Odinism is a Norse pagan religion with origins in ancient Viking and Norse beliefs and pre-Christian European culture. Sometimes called Votonism, it is seen as a racist variant of the pagan religious sect Aistru, according to the Anti-Defamation League. While Aistru itself is not racist, over the years Odinism has become increasingly linked to white supremacist and neo-Nazi beliefs in the United States. Many followers, known as Odinites, are said to exist among the white supremacist prison population today. Members of a Norse pagan religion called Odinism, hijacked by white nationalists, ritually sacrificed Abigail Williams and Liberty German, their lawyers wrote in court documents seen by The Independent. They said possible Odinist signatures were left by the killers at the crime scene, with the victims' bodies strewn across trees with branches and twigs arranged over their bodies in the shape of pagan symbols. Although Allen has no known connection to any pagan cult, his lawyers also took the extraordinary step of naming 4 individuals they say were involved in Odinism as possible suspects in the Delphi murders, while insisting that Allen had nothing to do with the killings. But the judge barred defense attorneys from raising the Odinist cult theory or the names of nearly a dozen other suspects in court during Allen's trial. Judge Gohl issued the ruling, stating that the burden is on the defense to show a nexus between the other suspects, Odinism, and the murders. She concluded that the defense failed to produce admissible evidence demonstrating a nexus. What to expect next in the Delphi murders case? Allen's trial began on October 14th, following a series of delays after Allen's lawyers abruptly dropped the case in October 2023 amid a scandal over the leak of explicit crime scene photos. The images began circulating online earlier this month, and in a bombshell twist, it emerged that the leak originated from a man who was a close friend of one of Allen's lawyers. He had previously worked as a clerk at her law firm, but had never worked on the Delphi case and had left the firm years earlier. He died by suicide after a police investigation into the leak was launched. During a closed-door hearing in October 2023, Judge Gohl told defense attorneys Andrew Baldwin and Bradley Rozzi that she planned to remove them from the case. Gohl alleged that the leak of the photos was one of many ways Baldwin and Rozzi acted with gross negligence in their defense of Allen. The attorneys later alleged that Gohl coerced them into quitting in what they described as a premeditated ambush. They asked her to recuse herself from the case. Public defenders William Labrado and Robert Screeman were then appointed by the court and remained on the case for a short time before filing a motion to withdraw from the case earlier this year. Around the same time, the Indiana Supreme Court issued a ruling that Allen's original attorneys would be reinstated. However, the state's highest court denied Gohl's motions to remove him. Trial and sentencing. During the trial, the prosecution presented a strong case. Libby's decision to record the suspect was praised as heroic, providing crucial evidence that helped identify Allen. The defense attempted to introduce an alternate theory, suggesting the murders were part of a ritualistic act by individuals connected to Odinism, but the court dismissed these claims. Richard Allen was convicted on 2 counts of murder. While prosecutors opted not to seek the death penalty, Allen faces life imprisonment without parole. His sentencing is scheduled for December 20th, 2024, with the possibility of additional charges being considered. The Delphi murders shook the community and prompted widespread calls for justice. Abby and Libby's families have since advocated for improvements in public safety and the establishment of the Abby and Libby Memorial Park, ensuring their memory endures. This case continues to serve as a chilling reminder of the resilience of victims and the tireless pursuit of justice. May Abby and Libby rest in peace. If you liked this video, subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up and comment on what you thought of this story.